This old guy DIY video has to do with fixing a broken transom on a 30-year-old pontoon boat. So a friend recently got this boat and she asked me to take a look at it. And one of the first things I noticed is that this weld is all cracked out here. And on the other side. So what I want to do is pull this transom support in towards the boat. So as I was thinking about different ways to do this, I asked myself, how can I get this thing in there without having to remove the motor and having to remove this little bracket and doing a bunch of difficult things. So what I decided is right now it's about 13¼ inches to the back of that transom bracket. And just before I started this video, I put this piece of wood up there like that and measured, and that's about 12 inches. So I've got about 1¼ inch to draw the top edge in. And what I did is drilled a 3/8 inch hole here and a 3/8 inch hole here. It looks like this material is probably 3/16 thick or so. And then I came back here, and where there had been a little screw, just this little guy, to hold this wooden piece into the aluminum, I drilled that out to 3/8 inch. And then I got some galvanized chain. And what I'm going to do now is attach the galvanized chain up here, put a 3½ inch galvanized carriage bolt through here, and then I can put a nut and a washer on the back and hit that with the impactor and use that bolt effectively to compress the joint and pull the chain right up against it. So I think I can recover what I've lost here with this broken weld with that bolt. And since the weld is still intact down here, my little chain technique will pull the top part in, and I suspect it'll be good for another 30 years. So now we'll do it and see how it works. Now the anchor bolt is 3/8 inch in diameter and 2 inches long. And I put 4 washers here, so this first shoulder of the link of the second link would not be rubbing on this aluminum. You can see the stack that I put there, and then beneath it I have 1 flat washer, a lock washer, and a nut. And that's what I'll tighten up so it'll sit in this position, and it should be happy there. So here is my 4-inch galvanized bolt in position. You can see there's some tension on the chain. On the back, I put 2 washers and the nut, 2 washers just for good measure. Now I'll take the impact and draw that thing up and see if we can close this gap. So it seems to be bound up a little bit right there, so I'm going to stop and whack it a couple times with a hammer. Just because of the inconsistency of the weld, I think it hung up. Now that it looks like this plan is going to work, I'll do the same process on the other side, and I'll draw that up tight so I don't twist this transom bracket too much just in trying to repair it. And now we'll hit it with the impact gun on the right side. Now we'll go back to the left. I'll just go back and forth and see how it works out. So it appears to have pulled in nicely, and I'm not going to cut the bolt off back here. So in case I ever need to take this off for some reason, I have enough thread to go ahead and back this off. I can disassemble it and then reassemble it. But if we look at the cracked weld on each side, it pulled in. It looks like it's pretty close to home. And when I measure, what had been 13¼ here is now just a hair over 12 inches. Looks like 12¼ inches. So without having to remove the motor, I've been able to reinforce this transom area, and I suspect this thing will go for another 30 years. So I hope this idea helped you, and have a great day.